Hey, it's your friend Sanchino Plays here, and today we're actually going to be reacting to, at the weirdest drop time ever, the new summer banner. As we saw last time, the previous summer banner was heavily focused on 3 houses units, and by heavily I mean entirely. And if anyone saw the silhouettes earlier this week, I think we could tell that one of the characters that's going to be featured is definitely Freya. So it'll be interesting to see who else is going to be featured on this banner. So like other times with the Byleth and the bridal banner reactions, my intention is going to be to give my initial thoughts on the banner and, state whether or not I'm going to be pulling or not. So without further ado, let's just get right into this. So I know that it's going to be new Summer Heroes. Every year they do 2 sets of Summer Heroes. And there's Freya, who's not a duo unit, which, unlike what a lot of people thought was going to happen. A colorless Beast Cavalry unit. Okay. Let's see here what we have. So her kit is very similar to the original Freya's in Attack Speed Solo 4 and Binding Necklace being a part of it. Fatal Smoke 3 is new, so we have a 3rd unit to bring Fatal Smoke to the table. I think this is the 3rd unit to bring it, but then also, again, it's a limited unit, so Fatal Smoke is not yet in the normal summoning pool. But now we have Bright Mare Horn, which grants speed +3 attack at the start of combat. If unit's HP is above or equal 25%, grants all stats +5 during combat, and if the unit's speed is higher than the foe's speed, reduces damage from attack by that percentage. At start of combat, if unit's HP is also 25% or more while transformed, neutralizes effects that prevent units. Okay, so it gives null follow-up, it seems. Or at least a partial non-follow-up from what I can see. So it's looking like Freya's gonna operate relatively similar to her original version. We're just not going to get distant counter like with OG Freya. So this is interesting. Then next up is that Freyr? What? We're actually getting Freyr? Before? Okay, so now he's locked into seasonal hell, which is basically where units who are not yet in the game but have a seasonal alt are residing, the likes of Charlotte and Sol. So interesting that he's been added now. We have Lull Attack Defense 3, Draconic Aura, Defense Res Catch 4, and Ray Dream Horn, which grants attack +3, and if unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack +6 minus combat and inflicts attack -6 during foe's combat, and the unit can make a guaranteed follow-up attack. And then has a transformation, which grants attack +2, and inflicts an additional attack and defense -4 on the foe during combat, and the foe cannot make a follow-up attack. So follow-up negation is only present whenever Freyr is transformed. So that's interesting. Defense res catches, maybe it'll work. I feel like having attack or speed would be better on a catch skill. So, oh my god, that Freyr's Beast Sprite just looks so good. I've always liked it so much. So now we have Blade on Leave. Wait, who's this again? Ogma got an alt. Okay. Oh wait, he's the, yep, this is the demote unit for the banner. Man, Ogma, I've always hated his art. I mean, I personally was not a fan. The art style works for most characters that it's on, but I just never liked it on Ogma. But that's not the point. He has threatened speed and defense too, which is probably not going to be all that great. Attack Speed Solo 3, Soul, and Trident Plus, which at the start of turn, if the unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants attack 6 to unit, attack +6 to unit for 1 turn, And if the unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants an additional attack and defense +5 to the unit during combat. Okay. So it looks like it's pretty flexible in terms of the condition where you may not get the initial attack +6, but if you're within 3 spaces of a unit of an ally during combat, you can still get attack defense +5. So that's interesting. Might be an inheritable lance to give to another unit that is my favorite. If you know, you know. Alright, but I'm interested in seeing who the harmonic hero is going to be. Plumeria is involved? And Shada. Okay. Alright. That's interesting. Oh no, and now I already hate what I'm seeing. Okay. So she has Horse Command plus Attack Speed, Catch, Panic Smoke, and a skill that is just an entire paragraph of text, and a new type of skill called Flow Refresh 3. Flow Refresh 3, if the unit initiates combat, neutralizes effects that prevent a unit's follow-up attacks and restores 10 HP to unit after combat. So it's like a partial null follow-up and a better Mystic boost? God darn it, I think I'm gonna have to pull for that skill. Got a couple units who could use that. Okay, alright, let's just get into Shada's weapon. Dolphin Dive Axe, which enables Canto 2. Oh yeah, because she's a flying unit, if I'm not mistaken. Canto 2, effective against sword, lance, axe, colorless bows, and armored foes. Grants attack +3, and if the unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants all stats +5 during combat. And then we have the description for Canto 2, which I don't need to read because I feel like at this point, if you're watching this, you know what Canto 2 does. Alright, so I believe Shada's a flying unit. Oh, that's a horse unit. Wait a minute. So a horse unit that only gets Canto 2. Okay, I'm curious. Well, I guess it would have been overly powerful to have Canto 3 on a unit that is effective against pretty much half of the units in the game. The Harmonized skill grants Resonance Blades to unit and allies, grants another action to ally with the highest HP that is within 2 spaces, has already acted, and is from the same titles as the unit. So if... It's like how some of the harmonic units or duo units can grant another action, but this is only to units from the same games, which would be Fire Emblem Heroes and the Shadow Dragon series, the Arcanea series. So this is interesting. Not sure how useful it would be in modes like Arena or Aether Raids, unless you specifically build your team with another Heroes or Arcanea unit, so that'd be interesting to see. But that refresh flow is looking pretty interesting. That's something I might want to try to get in on if it turns out to be useful in any of the important game modes. So yeah, this is a pretty interesting banner, all things considered. Who's the free unit then? Is that Norn? So Norn is the free unit. Oh, so wait a minute. This banner is going to give us 2 inheritable lances specifically. Okay. I wonder what Norn's lance is going to be doing any different. Maybe it's going to be Trident, but instead of attack and defense +5, it'll be attack and speed +5, which could be interesting for sure. Yeah. Honestly, what are my thoughts on this banner? It's gonna start on the 7th of July. I think that personally, I may attempt to go for Harmonic Shada, but not so much to use her, more so if it turns out that her Refresh Flow skill is useful, I may end up wanting to pull for that to give to one of my favorite units in the game. So honestly, this banner is looking like it's going to be pretty interesting, but other than Shada for fodder and maybe Freyr, I'm not that interested in pulling too much on it because especially I try not to go overboard with plus 10ing seasonal units unless they're a demote. And Agma is just not a character that does that for me. So honestly, I think this banner may be a partial skip. I may do a few attempts to get Sheeta if later on her skill ends up proving to be something that will be useful to me. But if not, then this banner is probably going to be a skip. Norn, unless she ends up proving to be a unit that's going to be very useful in the current meta, will probably end up being foddered off eventually. I've already foddered off one of my summer Leonis because not only am I not impressed with wanting to build another Bow Cavalier, I also just do not like Leonie as a character. So there's that. I'm wondering what everyone else thinks is going to come out of this banner. If you think that these units are going to be particularly useful. If you let me know in the comments if you intend to pull anything, what your thoughts on the banner. But I think I've said my piece for today. Honestly, yeah, I think I might do some pulling, but not go overboard like I've done with seasonal banners in the past. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below, and happy summoning if you choose to do so.